Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome along to our weekly takeover of the internets. Welcome to episode 95 of the Studio Rats Live Q&A. My name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew, and I've overdone it. I've overdone it. Definitely overdone it.
And you are all very welcome along to our weekly shindig, our weekly love-in, our weekly water cooler moment, if you will. It's been a busy week for us all. It's been a busy week in the world of gear and news and stuff, which we will get to shortly. However, we always start with this bit to warm us up a little bit. Mr. Drew, what have you been up to, and how much money have you spent this week?
I've spent a fortune. It's been my birthday. It's been my birthday this week. Not that I've got any message from you.
You didn't, because I didn't know.
Everyone else apart from James, even like people I don't even know, were like saying,
I genuinely didn't know, mate. I'm really sorry. Nothing appeared on FaceSlag.
I think it did. Well, apparently it did. I mean, loads of people on Facebook. That's the thing about Facebook. It's weird, isn't it? So yes, I bought myself a birthday present, which I can't put down. It arrived today. I bought myself a birthday.
It'll make you blind, mate.
Yeah, can't stop that. And that arrived today, which I'm very excited about. Did a video. Cheers, Brett. Thank you, K. Michael P.
You accidentally did a video as well.
I accidentally did a video, yeah. What else have I done? The Boss GX100 arrived.
It's not today. It's not today, is it?
What?
Not your birthday today?
No, it was yesterday.
Oh,
this arrived. When did this arrive? Friday?
Yeah.
Thursday or Friday. Unbelievable, this thing.
Yes, I'm quite excited to try that.
Yeah. What else? So lots of videos. Done a bit of recording. Sold a couple of guitars to pay for the new guitar.
Oh, can't believe you sold Pinky.
Anyway, what have you been up to? We'll talk about guitars and selling and buying and all stuff like that later on.
Yes. Well, other than getting lurgy, and it's not that lurgy, it's just lurgy, because apparently you are allowed to have a cold or flu and it not be COVID. Apparently, I've had the builders in, which has meant not a lot of actual work been able to get done, because they've been that big, huge pile of flooring that was behind me is now a single stack of flooring, and it's now above us. So if the house isn't as well made as I hope it is, it could all be crashing in on me any moment. But obviously laying flooring and stuff is not quiet, so I haven't been able to do very much. But I have had a couple of moments of genius and stuff. So yeah, it's been an all right week. Stuff's been getting done. Lots of kind of progress on designs and plans for studios and things like that, which is always good.
Have you got any dates? Have you got any dates or anything yet?
No, we're still waiting on, because obviously the whole world is now working from home and everyone's building garden rooms and all that sort of thing. The SIPs build people, who are the company who build like the shell of it, they've got stupidly busy. So because obviously it was a little while ago we got the initial quote, we now need to get another quote back, and then the lead time's probably going to be longer than it was, etc. But it does at least mean I can get things like wiring diagrams right, and we can get the second fix that's not the acoustic studio side of things bang on, get all the storage space sorted, and the cupboard that's not a cupboard can be sorted out and things like that. So I've got a carpenter and a designer in to help me with that stuff, and yeah, it's all heading in the right direction. But now it's become more real. Now I can do it. I want to do it now.
Oh God, I'd be so impatient about that.
Yeah, now I can do it. Of course, I'm jumping at the bit, and the guy's going, "You weren't like this 2 weeks ago." I said, "Yes, I wasn't allowed to be like this 2 weeks ago."
Right, yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's been a good week. I mean, we have to at this point dip our heads and all that sort of stuff and say, massive condolences to the Foos and the Hawkins family at the death of Taylor Hawkins. Massive loss to rock and roll. Phenomenal drummer.
Oh, probably definitely my favorite drummer. Was my favorite drummer at the before his passing.
Just a proper rock and roll beast. Our generation's John Bonham, I would say. I would be brave enough to say that.
Yeah.
phenomenal drummer, and he'll be sorely missed across the whole music community. So, rest in peace, Taylor, and all that sort of stuff. But other than that, a busy week. We should get in to the questions and all that sort of stuff, and salutations and all that. We should also, first of all, get in with a belated one. A massive thank you to Pet from last week. I think you'd logged out by the time if memory serves me correctly, you had to go early or something like that before we got around to thanking you for your very kind donation to Mummy's Gin Fund. Sorry, I mean the Baby Sham Fund.
But we did say thank you to Pet. I'm sure
we did, but I think he'd logged off. I seem to remember he had to go early or log off or something. But thank you for your continued support, mate. It is really, really appreciated, and all the super chats and all that sort of stuff, and the coffees and etc. Whatever platform it is that calls it. Thank you so much. It really does help us carry on doing what we're doing, and we have some really cool plans for this. We've always got plans, we've always got ideas, and your support makes those doable.
And I'd like to say as well, Pet is always the first. He's always the first to do that. So cheers, Pet. Much appreciated.
Yes, indeed. So let's crack on. Pet says evening, gents, which is always nice.
Jeff Rock, good evening, guys. Evening, Jeff. Evening from my K-Ton. K. Michael P. Howdy, James and Paul. Hope you're well and blessed. And to you, K. Michael P. Did you see that? Did we see that? I think I saw a message from Michael about that guitar. He called it a something. Do you remember we asked about his guitar?
Yes.
I think by the message that Michael left, that's his guitar. He built that guitar.
It's beautiful.
I think that's what he was saying. So
it's a thing of beauty.
It's lovely, isn't it? Like Kelly on steroids, that. Phil McNally, evening, everyone. Evening, Phil.
There's many a happy birthday. Now you've dropped the subtle hint that it was your birthday.
Hold on, go back to Brett. Hold on. There's a pig. Hold on, go back.
It's not a pig.
Oh, I thought it was a dog on a pig.
It's a puppy.
It's a puppy. Yeah, sorry. Rex Strother. Happy birthday, Paul. Happy birthday, Rex. Cheers, Rex. Thank you.
No, it's not Rex's birthday.
Oh, I'm trying. Honestly,
I don't think. I
had a couple of beers last night.
Good work.
Good evening, everyone, and happy birthday. Cheers, mate. Odds UK. This is a good question. Does anyone need a Floyd Rose anymore these days? Even for doing EVH Nuno Vice stuff, locking tuners, roller nuts, and bridges good enough.
I can't remember whose channel it was. No, it was the guy who does audio audit. What's his? I can't remember his name.
KDH.
KDH. He did a really good piece on the Kayla trem.
Did he?
Yeah, I watched it. I thought that's really interesting. I mean, I'd never come across a Kayla trem before. The only trem I've ever used of any nature is the Wilkinson.
Oh, the Kayla trem was hated.
Yeah,
but the Kayla trem to me was actually a better design than the Floyd Rose.
Yeah.
But it's an ugly. That was an ugly trem.
Not a pretty thing. But then again, nor was a Floyd Rose really. That blooming great scoop out the back of the bodywork.
You don't have to scoop. You don't have to scoop out of a Floyd Rose. I mean, someone like Eddie Van Halen did never scoop.
Right.
Because it was locked back. Eddie Van Halen's sort of trem was locked back, and he went down. He didn't go up. But yeah, I think it was ever since sort of
the gems in the universe is all had that super scoop.
Oh yeah, they had the tiger claw out.
They go.
The thing, right? So it's a really good question. I think if you're for modern day playing, no, I don't. I don't think you need a Floyd Rose anymore because I don't think anyone does that stuff anymore apart from Steve Vai. EVH is obviously past. Nuno doesn't really. I haven't heard Nuno do any big sort of tremolo.
No, I've never heard that. I mean, even someone who is fairly heavy on his trem, like Lukather, doesn't do silly stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was of a time, wasn't it? All that sort of stuff was when the Floyd Rose came out. Loads of people, did that. And
it was a classic case of doing it because you could, rather than necessarily because you should.
Well, yeah, it was, yeah, definitely, yeah. I mean, it was part of the era, wasn't it?
But I think a Wilkinson will do that. No problem at all. My Wilkinson, I can dive it to ridiculous levels, and it'll go zing straight back in.
The best trem for doing that sort of stuff that isn't locking or anything is a PRS trem.
The PRS trem is awesome.
PRS trem's just amazing. The design of that is just amazing.
Yeah,
and it sounds good as well. I never like. I think Floyd. I hate Floyd Roses. I would never buy a guitar with a Floyd Rose. I'm saying that, and then I'll probably buy a guitar with Floyd Rose on it tomorrow.
I don't think I've ever had a guitar with a Floyd Rose.
It's such a pain in the ass. You've got to get your Allen key out, and you've got to do that bolt. You've got to try and feed your string, and you've got to lock the string in. Then you've got, mate, and I just don't get it. I just don't get anyone. And Floyd Rose is now building guitars. And he's still putting his Floyd Rose on his own guitar. I mean, like improve it to the point we don't need that anymore. No one uses that anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not my thing. I have to admit.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm sure I remember the first guitar book I ever bought to try and learn guitar was Wolf Marshall's Rock Guitar Method.
Yeah.
And because I had my Eggle with the Wilkinson, you couldn't do the flick the trem thing.
Yeah.
Thing, and you can't do that on a Wilkinson because they always want to drop back and lock.
Right.
So I remember going, might have to get one of those Floyd Rosey things. Never did, of course, because I made a living out of playing guitar at the time.
But you don't need a Floyd Rose to do that. You can still do. I mean, even on a Strat trem, if you want to do that, if you want to do the little trill, I've never done it on this, but I'm guessing you can. Yeah, you can do
the flicky thing. Yeah,
you can do it on a standard sort of Strat trem.
You just can't do it on a Wilkinson.
No,
because they want to drop back.
Yeah, but unless you take the lock, you should take that locking mechanism off.
Nah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Then what's the point? So basically, Floyd Rose, yes, or Floyd Rose, no. I think it's safely a Floyd Rose, no, isn't it?
Definitely. Well, with us, it's a definite Floyd Rose. Cheers, Pet. Belated wishes, Paul. Thanks, mate. Rafael Jesus says, "Buenas noches."
Buenas noches.
Oh, is that how you say? Is that how you spell buenas noches?
Yes.
Oh, great.
Good evening.
I saw your guitars for sale, just a bit over my budget. Oh, mate, yeah, sold. Done quite well with the old sales of the guitars. So
it's a classic case of if your guitars were worth 300 quid, you'd never sell them because they're worth $3,000. It's a different audience, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's enabling me to move on, and I'll show you the new one in a minute.
Yes.
David McQuillan says, "Good evening, all. Hope you're well, and of course, happy birthday, Paul." Cheers, David. That's a nice. Go back.
I will. No, sorry, wrong one. Hang on. Hold on. Oh, that is nice.
Nice, isn't it? What's going on with that bridge? I'd like to know what that is. It's nice. That
is like that. At this point, we should.
John.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
John says, "Always look forward to Wednesdays with the Rats. Appreciate all you do." Thanks, John. Really, really nice of you. Thanks, mate.
I like the way it's become our kind of, just our weekly get together, our weekly hang.
Yeah. Oh, I really look forward to Wednesday night.
Yeah, I do very much so. Right.
Drinking.
Fail. Okay, where were we? We were Dave McQuillan, I think we were, weren't we? We've done that. Yes, we've done that one. Yep.
JTK says, "Evening, everyone. Happy birthday, Paul." Thank you, mate. Boss G X100 video was on point. Great playing as well. Thank you. Cheers, JTK. Honestly, I think this thing is brilliant.
So, I was chatting to a buddy of mine who is a great guitar player, and he's another Dr. Z Maz fan, as I know you are.
Nice, yeah, nice.
Great, really great player. But he's been doing a lot of pit work and show work, where he pretty much has to use a fractal of some kind. That's the required device.
Yeah.
And he's got himself in line for an FM9 because apparently they're rarer than Rocking Horse poo at the moment.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he said, "Well, I might actually go and pull the trigger on a what's the thing we had? The
Cortex.
For Cortex." And I went, "Mate, it ain't worth. It's not worth the hype. And he went, they've done a lot of work to them to make them worth the hype.
Oh, have they?
And I'm like, okay, does that make me want to go and buy one? No. Valve amps, please. I'm happy with those.
Yeah,
I like those and pedals. But he was saying we were talking about getting an Axe FX 3, and he said definitely get a secondhand one because they drop. It's a bit like secondhand car. You know, you buy a new car and it dive bombs the minute you get off the forecourt.
Yeah.
So apparently they do appear on the secondhand market occasionally, and you get a practically brand new one for a good 4 figures off the price.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is good.
How much are they new?
3 and a bit.
Oh,
it's a lot of money, but might be for the studio worth having. Not just worth having, but it might be a key player in the studio for effects and stuff with real amps.
Yeah,
I'm thinking. But we were chatting. I said, but do you think a quad cortex at 1,500 quid is going to be 3 times better than the new GX100 from Boss? And he went, never in a million years. That thing's going to rock.
It's brilliant. To me it's the best thing that Boss have released ever. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
You heard it here. You heard it here first.
So good.
Cool. Let's carry on.
Yes. Mentioning the UA Spark native plugins. Yes.
Of course we are, Rex. We'll get to that shortly.
Tim says happy birthday. Cheers, Tim. Safey is in the house. Hello, good evening. Hi, Safey. Seeing Safey in a couple of days, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The Strat I was trying to put together last week had an update. I ended up just getting a loaded pickguard SSS black on black sort of look. Nice.
Nice
one, mate. Yeah, nice. Oh, that's nice
That's
Strat.
very nice, isn't it?
Rich, morning rats from New Zealand. I think Rich we talked about that Strat before, haven't we? Because it's got the yellowed pickguard.
It has, and we should also.
Pet.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
Pet says he picked up the 1176 and the Poltic EQ collection on the sale along with Capital and 224. Nice one.
But all 3 are all 4 are some of my go-tos from UA. Good choices there, buddy.
Yeah,
nice very good.
Good move, mate.
And Capital Chambers you will use on everything.
Yeah. Goes on. No, I use a 224 every single mix. They've got the 224 and Capital Chambers somewhere in the mix.
Nice.
Oh yes. Cowbell Studios. I got both a new guitar and Corona this week, so everything was positive. Mate, what guitar have you got, Cowbell?
And which version of Corona have we got?
Yeah. Nasty, isn't it? It's just it seems like it's everywhere at the moment.
It is, but you know the version of it's doing what virologists say it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
becoming more transmissible but weaker. So,
Raphael says, also I ordered a Bad Dynamic 770 80 ohm to use with the Helix. Would you have another recommendation for headphones around 100 squids? Which one have you got? The 770s?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I would use, mate. They are. I would not. And honestly, if you ask me what headphones to buy, that's exactly what I'll buy. 770.
I would say if you're happy with 1983 technology,
they sound amazing.
They do sound really good. I would say it's worth checking out the Audio Technica ATH M50Xs as an alternative, not better or worse. They're the ones I use behind drums, the blue ones. They do a black one or a red one, but I use the blue ones because they were free. They're really nice, really good sound, and incredibly loud if you want them to be, which as a drummer I normally do.
Yep.
Right. Hang on a second.
Fernando. Thank you, mate. Hey, guys, did you ever get a chance to use the dual blue guitar pedal? How is it for gigs? Well, first of all, thank you for your generosity.
Indeed.
To be honest, mate, no.
It was a beast, wasn't it? It was just a bit too huge.
It was a good idea. It was a good idea.
Until you had to lift it.
No, it wasn't. No, that was fine. That was fine. I think I went off on a bit of a after that. I think that was before the match list and stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Sort of hunt.
It was before the ultimate valve amp, the ultimate amp, story journey. Journey is a better word.
But don't get me wrong. The blue guitar amp ones are fantastic. So nothing that there's. I haven't got anything bad to say about the blue guitar amp ones at all.
The one thing I have done a bit this week is dug into the Hellcat a bit more.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that's a good amp.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that's a good amp.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to bringing it over for a proper video spectacular.
Nice.
Really, really good amp. You'll like that, I think.
Nice.
It's got a lot more than you would necessarily like, as in a lot more gain than you would normally go for.
Oh really?
Yeah, it can really juice it up.
Oh no, I like.
You can get the full chug out of it.
We can get the full chug out of the match list.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's got stupidly high gain from.
I'd be interested to compare it.
Yeah. Still, but I've been playing with that a bit and enjoying it a lot.
Nice. Raphael says, "R.I.P. Taylor, such a loss, heartbroken."
Yeah, indeed.
Absolutely. Cowboy Studios, at least the missus didn't do a pregnancy test. They say things come in threes, whatever. Richard Paul, happy birthday, Paul. Thank you, Richard. If you guys ever are Eastbourne way, you'll have to pop into Bonner's Music new showroom and say hi. Oh, you got a new showroom down there. Nice one.
Let's do that over the summer when it's nice and Eastbourne's a cool place to be. Not that it's not a cool place to be anyway, but seaside towns are generally not great off season, are they?
Do you know what? Because Eastbourne isn't far from me. I really like Eastbourne. I know that people say it's where people go to die, or whatever.
It's God's waiting room, isn't
it? I really like Eastbourne.
I've done gigs in Eastbourne. I had to play the first set really fast because the front row didn't have long. But
It's all wrong. Yes, Richard, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
definitely.
Hello.
That is the guitar that's the guitar he made. Yes.
Good job on that. The paint job's good. I don't know if you did the paint job as well, Michael, but that's a good job.
The black kind of fade into gold looks great, doesn't it?
Good color. I've never seen that sort of that color scheme before.
No, it's nice. Very nice.
Richie Rich, good morning from New Zealand. Liking your shows. I've learned a lot since I started to watch them, Paul. I can't believe you're selling your beautiful Strat. Happy birthday. But I've replaced it with an even more beautiful Strat. To me, it's a more beautiful Strat. I'm sure other people would go, what have you done?
You need to buy the other one as well, in my opinion, because of the color alone.
Yeah, I'm really tempted. So
we'll come on to it.
Yeah, because I want to justify. Not that I need to justify, but I want to justify how I've managed to buy this guitar.
Yeah.
John Gordon, happy birthday, Paul. Cheers, John.
I don't think either you or I suffer from buyer's remorse, do we?
No. I definitely don't suffer from. I think if I'd have bought it new, I'd definitely be going, oh my God, what have I done? Definitely my most expensive guitar. Well, definitely the most I've ever spent on a guitar, and it was a second-hand guitar. So anyway, Shep Shepherd said, evening all from a soggy, miserable Lincolnshire. UAD announcement was the most underwhelming so far from anyone. Yeah.
We'll come on to it. I promise we will. We really will.
Yeah. Hold on. Is there another?
No, there isn't. Yes, there is. There is. I'm very sorry. I saw it.
What is going on? DMAC. I've got an IR200 and struggling to get a more plexi-like Marshall tone. Thank you, DMAC, for your kindness. It's really nice of you, mate. I've got an R200 struggling to get a more plexi-like Marshall tone. I like the Marshall amp in it. I just can't match it with the tone in my head. You really need to play around with the IRs, with the actual speaker impulses.
The speaker is what's going to have the most effect. I know it's one of those things that is preached quite a lot at the moment, especially from our Canadian shouty friend.
Pete Thorne.
No, the shouty one.
Yes.
He's banging on about it quite a lot, but it's absolutely true. It really is. It makes a huge difference.
Yes.
We should also as well.
Raphael, thank you, mate. That's really kind. Would you say a baritone is an important addition? I wouldn't say it's an important addition. I think if you're a studio guitar player, I would say it will come in handy. I reckon. You see, like my Gretsch, and it's not a baritone; it's just a Gretsch. But my Gretsch comes out once a year for a session.
But when it does,
yeah, but when it does, it's great, and it's the same with the baritone for me.
If a baritone came up at the auctions, there was a Music Man baritone that I really like the look of.
Yeah.
That had that been the guitar I won that particular auction, I would not have been upset, because a baritone, say for a studio instrument, to have it in the studio is a really cool thing. You know, it's another flavor, it's another idea. It's an idea machine, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you going to pull it out on every session? No, probably not.
Definitely not. If you're really into metal, if you're really into heavy stuff, and I think it's really good to have sort of to use it for secondary guitar parts. I think it's
how is it? Is it the same tuning?
It's the same tuning, just down to B, I think. So it's B, E, A. I've got to try and work it out.
So if you had it and you could play alternative chord positions, thicken up your rhythm parts would be great.
Traditionally, it's strung like that, but you know, you can do a drop A on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can do anything.
And really upset the bass player.
Yeah. But yeah, I think traditionally a baritone is tuned. I think it's to B. I could be wrong. Yeah. But can we just go back to DMAC a second?
Yes. Sorry.
And I'm just trying to think how we can help out there. DMAC. I did a video. I did a video when I first got the IR200, and I went through all of the different. And outside of the video, I went through all the different IRs, and if you use the Boss IRs, they're really good. But there's two Celestion IRs which I think you should use all the time.
Right.
One is I can't remember what they are. They're both the 4x12s. One's called Bright, and the other one's R121. What's the Sennheiser mic, James?
The MD 421.
421, 121, I think, and basically they're next to each other.
Yeah. So the 121 would be the R121 would be the ribbon, would be the Royal ribbon.
Sure.
And then the MD 421 would be the sort of black dynamic.
Yeah.
It looks like it's side addressed, but it's actually end addressed.
Yeah. And it's like that, but they're as a patch, as a preset, they're right next to each other. The two presets,
yeah.
One on the left, one on the right. Turn off the speaker matching. So that's basically what you need to do. You need to make the IR200 have different speakers on either side, and there's a little switch. There's a little menu thing you click over that says, I can't remember what it is, but it basically says that you can have different IRs on one side, the other side, and that's. I mean, that to me, it's a great sound. Anyway, back to questions.
Anyway, yes.
That's who we were, was it? We were with Graham, were we?
Yes, we are now with Graham. Yes.
Yeah, no, Graham. Graham says, watch regularly, guys. Cheers, Graham. Your tips are much appreciated. Thank you, mate. Paul, if I could afford Pinky, I'd buy it. Oh, thanks, mate. Aristotle's Dukas. Kayla won't do the thing that Floyd's can do.
Okay, I'll nod and agree. But I watched his video and thought it was quite good.
Jeff Rox has said, lost Taylor Hawkins. My sister worked the UK festivals. The foods would hang with the staff. Taylor always remembered everyone from the previous year. Brilliant. Roger Taylor's statement made me well up. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have been a very nice man.
Yes.
Mr. Enpré says, hi from France. I'd love to hear James' views on the GX100 versus MX5. Thanks.
I don't think it would take long. I thought one of the comments on your GX100 video was, I wonder if it's better than the MX5. The scary thing is, actually, it's not that much more than an MX5. Not that much.
If you're thinking about, if there's no comparison to me, the MX5
totally.
It's got faults all over it.
Yes, indeed.
Anywhere near it.
Yeah, mine's gone on eBay next week.
Nice one.
I need to find 8,000 quid for a shed base.
Yeah. Tim Jeremy says it's all about the nut. If the nut is right, even the Fender trem works well. Interesting. Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Mr. Gilmore's never had a problem.
So true. So true.
Has to be said. He's not the biggest of dive bomb merchants, but he does use a trem a lot.
He does use the trem a lot. Jeff Rock, regarding the trem thing, check out some old 70s Scorpions footage of Ulrich Roth. Oh, Uli, isn't it Uli John Roth? Early Scorpions.
I'll have to nod and agree.
Given a 6-screw Strat trem some serious abuse with no tuning problems. Can't be a good setup. Yeah, definitely.
I think that's
hey,
the case.
On a second. We're even missing Hendrix, for God's sake.
Yeah, he did all right, didn't he?
He did.
What did he do again?
Just
well, add to that, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Michael MC, do you regret selling any guitars? And if so, did you get them back or replace them with a similar model? Really good question.
Very good question. I regret selling one guitar.
What's that?
I had. Pardon?
It's going to be a wrong one. Come on.
It's not actually a wrong one. It did have it wasn't actually that good a guitar, if that's a real word, but it did have a hex pickup in it, so you could talk to guitar synths and stuff for notation and MIDI and stuff. And it was what the hell are they called? I've forgotten the brand. But it wasn't a great guitar, but it played okay. But it wasn't. There was a Far Eastern one, and there was the American ones. And of course, the American ones were all fabulous, and the Far Eastern ones were totally serviceable instruments. But I got rid of it because I wasn't doing the hex thing. And of course, about 6 months later, I needed a job where I could transcribe solos properly, and that would have made such a doddle. That's the only time. I think I probably made 400 quid on it, and not a valuable instrument. And I could probably get one again if I wanted it, but I haven't seen the point.
Yeah. Me, I don't. Not really. I mean, there are definitely guitars. Oh no! I've got 4. There's 4 guitars that I sort of regret. Two of them were Steinbergers,
right?
Because they're now worth a lot of money. Actually, all of these would have been worth a lot of money. So 2 Steinbergers that I sold. One was an HSS with EMGs, and one was an HS with EMGs. Brilliant, really good guitars. That's a great trem because it's got transposing trem.
Yeah.
So you can literally the whole trem transposes.
Yes.
So as opposed to like a normal trem, which when you dive bomb it, everything sort of doesn't stay in tune, and then you can lock. Yeah, it's got a transfer, and you can lock it at different tunings. It's brilliant. Anyway, that a Les Paul Heritage, which was before Custom Shop, before Gibson Custom Shop, would have been worth a lot of money now.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. It was like a 59. It was really nice, and I think I mentioned it on the show once before. Peter Green's Stratocaster, which is probably my biggest regret because that would be worth a fortune.
Yes, it would be worth several fortunes.
Yes. Yeah.
I've got gear that I sold that I wished I hadn't, but nothing's eating me up inside on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I think flogging Peter Green's Strat would probably hurt.
Yeah.
The only piece of kit that I've ever. So my dad had one of the very first Mobira Cityman phones. The ones where it was the first one where the handset and the aerial were one thing rather than a battery pack and a phone.
You mean Motorola? Mobira? What's Mobira?
Yeah. Mobira was the Finnish knockoff version of a
Motorola.
Motorola. Yeah.
Oh.
There were 3 companies who could make them. Anyway, and I found out because these things had gold contacts and gold components and gold everywhere inside these things, they were worth quite a lot of money. And because they were so rare, they were worth a lot of money on the second-hand market.
Sure I understand.
Oh, go away. No, nor am I. And I said to my mum, Dad's old phone. She said, I threw it away last week. That's been hanging around for years. I went, Mum, that's worth a couple of grand. And she went, not anymore, it's not.
Oh, no. What a shame.
Anyway.
Finn Footy Knut says, of course you need a guitar with a Floyd Rose. For the occasion of what you play style, Floyd Rose holds the key almost always. I don't like Floyd Roses. I got to be honest. I don't like them.
The thing about a Floyd Rose is the guitar has to be set up perfectly. It's almost like it has to be in the same atmospheric pressure conditions as when it was set up, and that's when a Floyd Rose is good, in my experience.
Aristotle Dukas says Floyd Rose had a patent for locking nut, and that's why all the other companies had to install nut and had a locking mechanism behind the nut, and that is why they did not work so well than Floyd. Interesting. I didn't know that he had the patent for the top nut. Interesting. Says, good evening, rats of the studio. Good evening, mate. Is there any no valve amp worth the money?
Boss Katana.
Boss Katana's definitely worth the money. I'm hearing really good things about the quilters.
Yeah, an old, if you can find one, an old JCM 800. I think it was just called the Lead.
Oh, you're a wrong one.
They were great.
Oh, mate, you're remembering stuff. You're remembering stuff that you're doing, like like me buying a pod, like buying a pod and plugging the pod in. And, I used to love a pod and going, it's not quite as good as.
I thought they were great at the time.
Interesting.
I had my first ever amp was a Marshall Reverb 12, right? And it was it was like a little 10-inch speaker with a 12-watt transistor head. And the best thing about it was you could dime it all the way across, and it sounded amazing mic'd up.
Wow. Awesome.
You could probably pick them up for about a tenner now.
Yeah.
That was at the same time as I had a original Fender Champ, Valve Champ, and I should never have sold that for 20 quid. That's my blooming.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was a bad move.
Yeah. Boss Katana every time. Solid state.
I think, if you're asking an amp that's worth more than it, or sounds more than its cost, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Ron Carter says, greeting from East Tennessee. Oh, nice.
Where's East Tennessee that we would have heard of? Because I don't think Nashville was East Tennessee, or am I completely wrong? Because my American geography is okay, but compass point wise in each state, I'm a little shaky. So where are you near, Ron? And are you Ron Carter, the bass player of jazz fame? Because if you are, that's amazing.
K Michael P. Ron, another hillybilly. Hillybillies.
Aye.
Soren Bogdan says, happy birthday, Paul. Happy birthday. Oh, no, thank you, Soren. Oh, God. So I'm so used to saying, you know.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Small Hill, Big Billies. Where are we? North Georgia boy here, now in Florida. Nice. Jim Simmons says, will you guys do a demo of the new Nux Amp Academy modeling stomp box? The demos I hear sound good. If Nux get in contact, if Nux want us to do one or send us one, more than happy doing it. The thing is, there's so many of these little Chinese companies, foresting companies that create this all this stuff, and happy to do it. Obviously, happy to look at anything. But,
and we're not the sort of channel that's going to start charging people for stuff right off the bat, because that's not how we work. I know so many channels who won't even open a box until there's a sum involved. Not our way of working.
Cowboy Studio says, I've got a Black Squire Telecaster Deluxe Baritone. Nice. And I'm pretty sure it was the Omnicron has not been too bad. Okay, so nice. He's got a Telecaster Deluxe Baritone. Nice.
Very nice. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Or should I say, I like the sound of that.
Nice. How would you use the Bosch GX100 for small gigs? I would go straight into the desk.
Yeah. Would you, has it got outputs to feed its own speaker? So if you had an FRFR speaker, could you feed it as your own control and then have the main? Has it got XLRs, balanced XLRs for the desk, and then?
No.
So you need to run it into a DI box. But you've got a mono. You've got a mono out there. Did I see?
Well, you got right and left mono. So you got right and left outputs.
Yeah.
USB and the mono output. You've got a phone.
You could run the phones out into it.
Out to what? Out to the
to an FRFR in front of you.
I'm not sure. You might be able to. I'm not sure how you can about the routing. How because it's not the GT 1000. See, this is not their flagship unit.
Oh, right.
You can do that sort of stuff with.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I'm not sure that you can. I don't know. Maybe
let's face it, a DI box would split the signal anyway. You could do that, no problem.
Yeah.
You could send, if you had an FRFR speaker, get a decent DI box, like a radial. So you have your left and right unbalanced jacks into the DI. You then have your balanced off to your PA, and then you send an unbalanced off into your speaker. Jobs are good.
Nice.
And then your front of house guy can do whatever he likes, and you can still hear yourself.
Oh,
Job is a good one.
Yep. Michael MC, will either of you check out the new Yamaha Revstar standard model? Seems like a lot of guitar for the money. Again, so Yamaha have I'm gonna put this YouTube channels. I'm trying to think of a better word for this. I hate that influencer word, but have people that they use, and
we ain't one of them.
Yeah, basically, we're not one of them. And the thing is, and there's some really good companies out there, Boss being one of them, who don't flood the market when a piece of gear comes out. Companies like Yamaha, Line 6, it's the same company now.
Yeah.
As soon as a new piece of gear comes out, 15 influencers release the video.
Almost the same video as well.
Yes, and it almost ends up, it's too overkill. So Yamaha did that with the Revstar, and I think people don't like it when that happens so much.
What they should have done, of course, in my humblest of opinions, is give it to 3 people 1 week, 3 the next week, 3 the next week, 3 the next week, and actually have a continued spread of review footage going out, rather than 15 reviews going out on the first week and the hype being up and then go poof.
Exactly. So this is what, like the Boss RE202, which came out.
Yep.
So I'm being sent one by Boss, and Boss have said, don't release any videos until this date because we don't want to flood the market.
Exactly.
And that's right. And I completely agree. Yeah. Because they want the
marketing spread needs to be continuous. It doesn't need to be all in 1 week, because what's the point in that? That's not a marketing budget. That's a hype budget.
Yes.
They do have to look at these things from a business point of view at the end of the day. I know it sounds very boring and dull, but having 15 reviews go out on 1 week and having everything, there are only so many people out there who are going to buy these sort of things.
But how good? And have you seen the RE202?
Looks amazing.
Absolutely brilliant.
Excuse me.
Boss, knock it out of the park again.
There's quite a lot of in chat. We're going to scoop through that because they're talking to each other, which is great.
Nice. Pet says, any advice for taming that pesky little finger from jumping off the fretboard, trying to undo poor technique that's been solidified from years of ignorance? Yes, without a doubt.
I don't know what that means.
I'll show you. I'll demonstrate.
Please do.
I will. I'm going to do it.
He's trying to grab a guitar that's not his new one, isn't he?
I am trying to... Oh, here we go. Right.
Demonstrate.
So, you see it all the time. You see the wayward pinky,
right?
The wayward pinky on a lead guitar. I can't do it anymore. Okay, so let's try and how can I do this? You're gonna see exactly.
That's right. That's it. Yeah.
So it's like people you see actually quite accomplished guitar players. So, some guitar players, you can't believe how fast they can play, and their technique on their fingers are like out here.
Yeah.
Basically it's that as opposed to keeping your fingers close to the fretboard. Personally, that's the way that I was taught. So your fingers should be hovering over. If I just play like an A minor scale, whatever.
Yeah, minimal minimal movement, efficient use of muscle. Yeah,
exactly. It's like what's the drumming technique that's like that?
molar motion.
Yeah, Moel or whatever it's called. That's it. Yeah. So yes, just practice your, and I know it's really hard because the little finger, all of these fingers are connected by, especially these two fingers here are connected by, is it the same tendon or something?
Yeah, it's like when have you ever done that thing when someone says, you do that?
Yes.
You cannot move that finger.
Is that thing?
You can't move. You can move all the rest separately, but you cannot move that one because these two are joined.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, what I would do, I would practice your little finger. Put your 3 fingers down and just hover your little finger over and just practice that and just get and build up the strength for that little finger.
Yeah.
Does that help? But actually get the note going.
Well, do pull-offs.
Exactly. Can you hear that?
Pull-offs with your little finger.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a guitarist I was watching the other day who's a brilliant guitar player, and his little fingers like all over the place. But it works for some people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we can all take the mickey out of people who had appalling technique, Gary Moore, and yet
Gary Moore, that's a prime example of someone
and yet, my God, they make the right noise.
Yeah. Oh, and could play blisteringly fast.
Yeah. Yes.
And so well. Hello, Rats. Hello, Walrus 1968.
I do like that guitar.
Nice, isn't it? Like that. D-Max, solid. Thanks. Anytime, mate. Jeff Rock, Revolta make a nice baritone Mondata model. Check out the video of heart-shaped box Mary Spender just put out. Brett Scholl is playing one on that. Nice.
Very nice.
Richie Rich, I've got a Line 6 Power Cab 112 Plus and thinking of matching the new GX100 with it. Should be a good match. Yeah. Do you know what would be really good with that? 2 Power Cab 112s.
Yes. For a night, your proper stereo imaging.
Yeah, great. That'd be awesome.
Rock and roll.
Yeah. Shep Shepherd says, Apple, happy birthday, young man. Thank you, mate. Don't feel very young. Did you both study music at college, uni? Also, what was the Studio Rats premise forged over a couple of blue moons? Was the Studio Rats premise forged over a couple of blue moons?
It probably was a blue moon or two. Probably in was it? No, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been NAMM last time around, would it? Because we were well and truly up and running by then.
Yeah.
2 NAMMs ago.
Well, did you study music at college?
I did music up to A level, and then did my university degree was called Music and Instrument Technology. So it was a bit of playing, a bit of studio, a bit of making instruments, a bit of music tech, a bit of kind of acoustics, a bit of electronics. So a real broad church music degree, which I think probably set me up for doing what I'm doing now, which is a bit of everything.
Right. Nice. I went to the year before the Brit School started. They had the Brit School was like a London-based music college where Adele went and loads of people went.
Ash and
yeah,
a few others.
And the year before they were in the building, they had it at they had the music program at the college, which was literally just like next door. So I did that. I did that for a couple of months. Didn't like it, and then I didn't do any music college until I was 25, and then I went to ACM in Guildford.
The Academy of Contemporary Music, just in case anyone's interested.
Aye.
I did a lecture there once on Sibelius, long time ago.
Interesting.
Long time ago.
Philip Hoy says, hi both. Any advice to develop and improve soloing improvisation? I would say I'm between beginner and intermediate. Are there any useful online resources or personal steps you would recommend to follow? There is one. I would recommend Brett Pupper. Go and have a look at Brett Pupper's YouTube channel.
And I would suggest, if you have a couple of guitarists you like, play along with them. Play along to CDs. That's exactly how I learnt how I learned to solo. I didn't learn. I mean, you could say that my guitar soloing is very, very along the lines of Gary Moore meets Eric Clapton, and I would say that's a massive compliment. Yeah, play along with CDs, and noodle and enjoy, and you'll come up with stuff. You go, oh, I like that, and add that to your repertoire. And also, don't get stuck in one key. Learn your 10 favorite licks and your 10 favorite solos in any key, and all of a sudden you can turn up to a jam session and you can play.
I think it's really good now, because it's very different to when we started, because you've got YouTube and so many online resources that you can look at. I think Brett Puffer does some really good stuff. As I said, what's the one that Joe Bonamassa just did?
Oh, his own workshop, his masterclass thing.
Yeah, it's not masterclass. So
it's not a masterclass, but he's called it a Joe Bonamassa's masterclass.
It's on TrueFire.
Yes,
TrueFire is quite good. I find the thing about TrueFire, there's some things about it that I really don't like. I don't like the way that I want to stop the video, and you can't. You push spacebar to stop, which is a classic sort of. That is what stop is.
Yeah.
And the page jumps, and then you lose where you are. And every time, it's such a natural thing to start using the spacebar. Things like that. Anything else I can think of? Yeah, just keep it simple. There's
my one big thing with soloing, and I use this all the time, and I would say one of my first big compliments was learn how to bend in tune. Learn how to bend and hold a bend in tune, and recognize what a semitone sounds like, what a tone sounds like, and recognize when you're bending in tune and vibrato, because an out of tune bend is just a horrible noise in a solo.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Do you think it's, and then you need to learn how to do that same bend on a load of different guitars that all feel completely different with different scale lengths? And
yeah, but I mean that's an ear thing. It is a physical thing, bending a string, and generally you probably bend your string with the third finger, don't you? Probably.
I think I've been with all fingers.
Probably second or third for me. Probably is where I'd be. But recognize the pitch that you're aiming for. You don't always get it bang on, but make sure that you get it in tune, because an out of tune bend is just a horrible noise, and nobody appreciates that.
No, definitely not.
Especially,
but keep it simple, Philip. I would say just keep it really simple. I would much rather listen to Gary Moore play the perfect notes than Steve Vai
playing a million notes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've taught kids rock school type stuff, and they all say to me, "How do your solos always sound so lovely and in tune?" I said, "Because I'm not trying to play as many notes as you are." They're all trying to go like sweet picking, and I'm like, "Boys, you're not good enough for that stuff. Come back in 10 years, then maybe." But at the moment,
it's good. Practice at home. Yeah, and I think that shows. That's a beginner trait, isn't it? To want to play more than you should be playing live. So practice that stuff at home. That's fantastic. But don't go out to a gig and do that stuff, because you can't do it.
And there's the old adage as well that if you can just about go on a gig and ace your solos on a gig.
Yeah, I agree.
Your bedroom is where to practice and get it wrong. The gig is where to play the easy stuff really nicely, because no one's ever going to say, "Oh, you didn't play many notes, did they?"
Yeah,
they're always going to say, "That was a nice solo," or "Oh, that was painful." Yeah. Anyway,
Danny T. Hi guys, sorry joining late. Not a problem, mate. Any thoughts on Katana bass amp? Looks interesting. We've done a video on it, Danny.
We have, and it's awesome.
It's really good, yeah. And there's another video coming soon.
Have you done it?
No, I haven't done it yet. No, I haven't done it yet. We'll talk about it next.
Yeah. All right.
Aaron's in the house. He says, hi, all thoughts on Dr. Z amps. Fantastic. If you're in the States where you are, Aaron, living in New York, you can pick up Dr. Z amps
competitively.
Very competitively, yeah. I think they're really good. I've had, how many have I had? 2 or 3. I've had a Easy G50, a 50-watt, brilliant reverb, far too clean for me. And then the Maz, I've had a Maz 36, I think it was. The only thing I found that with the Maz, I kept blowing output valves for some reason, and it might have been my Maz, and I couldn't keep it for that reason. But it was a fantastic sounding amp.
Nice.
Really
Again,
good.
there's lots of inter stream chat, which we like. That keep that up, boys and girls.
Yeah, Marcelo, did you guys already demo the Strymon Riverside? No, we haven't demoed that. I'm a true analog guy, but I was impressed by this pedal. Yes, I don't even think they make it anymore, the Riverside. I think it's been discontinued. I could be wrong.
I'm trying to think of a down by the riverside joke, but I'll fail. Yeah.
No, yeah, it's not really good. Jeff Rock, Boss flooded the new Space Echo pedals, but I think it's because it got leaked.
It certainly did. Yes, there was a few people shot their bolt early, if you will.
Richie Rich, flood the market like Positive Grid Spark. Exactly.
The problem with Positive Grid Spark was it's all very well if you've got the units to sell.
Yeah.
If you don't, Avid did it 15 years ago with 11 rack. If you haven't got the units, there's no point in blowing your marketing budget in the first 2 months and then go, haven't got any units.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd learn, wouldn't you?
Ernie B says, that's a nice hat. I need to get myself a good hat like that. Paul, since you're not selling Pinky, I picked up a used T-style by Ert. I really wanted to try the stainless steel frets on this guitar. Picked it up used. Absolutely love it. Thanks much. Nice one. No, Pinky. Well, Pinky. There's someone coming to see it tomorrow. Pinky. It's still with me at the moment, but Pinky needs to be sold.
I'm shocked.
We can talk about that in a minute, can't we? Raphael says, have you seen the 1959 Gretsch G6121 in Western Orange stain for 7 squillions at Guitar Village? Guitar Village is that's probably my nearest shop.
Really? Where are they?
Farnham.
All right.
Actually, no, Anson's is probably nearer, but a single cut with the same birth year as the bursts for a fraction, or are these good? Well, they're not. No, it's not so they're not good. It's a very different guitar to a burst. It's a very different guitar. But it's a good price. It's a lot of money, isn't it?
It's a lot of money, but that's an old guitar.
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, I've never played a really old Gretsch like that, but I would not be. It's not as versatile as a Les Paul, without a doubt.
I would also, if there is that much money involved, and if I don't know every single thing about that instrument, I am treading very carefully.
Yeah, I think
it's one thing going in. I mean, my kit was not far off that sort of money, but I knew exactly what I was buying, and also with a new instrument, it's different.
Sure,
it's different because there is returns policies and there is customer service and all those sort of things. Buying an old instrument, I would want to make sure that was absolutely the creme de la creme of that series of instruments. And if there was any, I think it's is it the film Heat, the Robert De Niro film? If there's any doubt, there is no doubt. You walk away.
Oh, I see. Excellent. That's good.
Good advice, I think. And you might shoot yourself later on, but you don't want to get stung with a pup. You really don't.
Yeah, you can just go and try it out.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, let me know. If you want to go and look at it, Raphael, I'll come down with you.
Nice.
Tommy Gibbons, what's the best way to contact companies to work with?
You meet them in person at trade shows.
Yeah, trade shows is. I think James is right there. I think
best way, because you actually get to speak to the, and if you're not speaking to the person who eventually holds the purse strings, you find the person who holds the purse strings. That's the way to do it. Reaching out with emails is great, sending them, not phoning them, things like that. You never get to the right person. The way to do it is at trade shows, which is why NAMM will never fail.
It is really good. Also, I mean, I think you need to go there. You need to approach the companies with the attitude of you want to help them, not they want to. So, how can you help that company as opposed to how can you get money out of that company?
You also have to know that in advance as well. You have to know what their problems are, and you have to know what you can do for them, because it's. I heard a great one the other day, and I think it's an old salesman's trick, and it's the guy at the sales seminar says, "Here's a pen." Passes the pen to rep number one and says, "Sell me this pen." And the guy goes, "Oh, it's an amazing pen. You need this pen." And what you actually should do is give the guy a piece of paper and say, "Could you write me a note, please?" And the guy then says, "You got a pen?" "Yeah, it's 10 quid." Yeah. So it's like, you have to solve their problems. You tell a story and you solve their problems. It's all about storytelling.
And also, I think it's you have to have something that company wants. So whether it's subscribers or skill or whatever,
or a personality or an ability or something that makes you unique. We have Paul.
very, very unique.
Eunuch was that.
I know. Yeah.
It's but for me, it's trade shows. Trade shows are the best place for networking and meeting the right people.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're a lot of fun. And the other thing to remember is the bar is where most of the work gets done, but don't get too pissed at the bar. It all goes horribly wrong.
Done that a few times,
haven't we all?
Peps, when recording in a DAW, will the phase shifter work with a direct input recorded guitar? What phase shifter? You're talking about? What phase shift are we talking here?
Yes, I think that's because there's a fact there's altering the phase, reversing the phase.
Well, isn't there a boss pedal called a phase shifter?
Yeah, but that's just a phase pedal, isn't it?
Yes, but he said when recording a DAW, will the phase shifter work with a direct? Explain what I think we need a bit more info, Peps, if that's all right, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's
plow through a couple more of these. I think we can get to well down the bottom of these.
What about keep on playing above?
The missed ones. I'm terribly sorry.
Keep on playing says, I'd rather go blind. Joe Bonamassa and Beth Hart, best Teletone I've ever heard. You should listen to it 3 weeks ago. If you went to tellies, listen to the solo. Joe Bonamassa on a telly is just.
Joe Bonamassa on a ukulele would be enough for me.
But on a telly, he's so good on a telly.
Yeah,
love him. Yeah, he sounds.
He's
great.
not bad on DVD either.
Very good. The Walrus 1968. James, my guitar is a 2015 Schecter Hellraiser hybrid Solo 2 in trans purple burst, only 36 made worldwide, so super rare. A very, very nice guitar.
Looks beautiful. Love it.
Yeah, nice. Check out Kiko Lorio Megadeth. He has great technique videos where he teach how to improve your finger movement, etc. Nice one.
That's always good. Yeah. Hang on. Oh, with that same again.
There we go.
Oh no, so it's not actually. Sorry, no, it's not.
When recording in a DAW, will the phase shifter work with direct input recorded Katana or just with mic tracks? I've noticed. Oh, I see. Well, if you're talking about a direct input, the phase. Why would you need a phase shifter on a mono guitar?
So, for example, the Boss pedal, the phase shifter, is a phaser, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now it's worth knowing that phase, chorus, and flange are all effectively the same effect, just that the delay is slightly smaller or slightly bigger. A phase is the smallest, then flange, then chorus, then flange, then chorus, and the delay is just the way around. Phase, chorus, flange.
I think so.
Yeah, it's just the delay is slightly bigger each time.
Actually, I think chorus is first. Oh, anyway,
they're all the same effect, effectively. So just the fact that it's called a phase shifter is just the name. It's not shifting the phase in some kind of clever recording techniquey kind of way. It's just an effect. It's that kind of effect. Technical term there.
Nice.
Hope that helps. If it doesn't, come back to us again.
Yep. Glenn Martin says, guys, can I run the GX100 into a Katana Mark II amp in? Yes, you can. I would use the power amp in.
Yes, definitely.
Power amp in. Where can I find such device? CD?
A what? Sorry?
Yeah. They'll be back.
Defo.
Jeff Rock, I learnt playing along to records, guitar plugged into the mic input, my big sister's music center, and my manager.
I had a Philips stereo with a mic input, and it would blend with, as long as you had the second cassette deck in record paused, it would blend the two signals, and it sounded god awful.
Yeah,
and I had some frontline pedals which I'd put in front of it. It sounded terrible.
Yeah. Pickup music. So Raphael says pickup music is great to learn with newer artists. Pickup music, yeah, it's great to learn with newer artists. Great, yeah. JTK, looper pedal is also a great way to learn soloing and also improve your timing. That's very true, actually. Looper pedals are really good. But do you find that I find as well when I watch.
At this point, I'm going to say a good looper pedal. The TC ones are excellent because they've got, like the Ditto has got a certain amount of cleverness that will just tighten up the loop so they always work.
Right, nice. Yeah, I think. Oh, no, anyway, don't worry. No, I'm going to go off on one, and it's not relevant to the thing. Satan Payne says, "Hi guys, can Boss GX100 do metal? Without a doubt, it can definitely do metal." Shep Shepherd took up the guitar at 50, 55 now, still rubbish, but not as bad as I was 5 years ago. I love that period. That initial period of playing where you saw the progression. You saw it's this. So you start playing, you see that, and then you get to a certain level, and it just does that.
It plateaus, doesn't it?
It plateaus, just gradually just goes up. There's something that I've been working on for weeks, and I still have to practice it. I still haven't got it.
I've been trying to learn Cliffs of Dover since I first started playing guitar.
Yes, but you could do that if you sat down for a couple of weeks. You could do it.
I probably could, but I haven't got the staying power to do it.
Yeah,
that's the truth of the matter is I haven't got the ability. Like, some people say I practice 7 hours a day. That's not me. I can't do it.
Right.
I've never been that person. I can do probably 2 or 3 hours on drums properly and constructively. But when some people, I come up with my own exercise. I'm not, fuck that. I'd rather play on the CDs and play music rather than do exercise. Boring.
David Ashcroft, less is more. It sure is. Aaron Schultz says, Shep, when I was younger, I want to play guitar really badly. And now, all these years later, I can surely say that I play the guitar really badly.
Hey, there it is. I knew it was coming, but there's nothing we can do about it.
Island Sounds, would you recommend the Marshall Origin amp to someone just getting into tube amps? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Greg, did we plug in Greg's Origin? We
did, and it sounded really good.
Yes, really good. Oh, yes, it did. Yeah, it did sound really good. Saint Payne, tubes out of stock everywhere. I stay away from buying any tube amp right now. I think tubes are out of stock because they're scalpers.
Because everyone's buying tubes,
and everyone's buying tubes. It will get sorted. It will definitely get sorted. And let's not go nuts on this. If you've got a 20-year-old amp, you'll probably find it's the same tubes that are in that amp. Yeah. As when it was bought.
And also say, not that I'm going to get all high and mighty on this, but not having tubes available right now in the grand scheme of things, when some of the bad things that are going down in that particular part of the world, it's not their main priority.
Sure. Yeah. No. Absolutely. But Saint Payne is saying he's not buying any tube amps.
I'd say unless you're picking up a tube amp from 1960 and you don't know its origins and you don't know how much it's been thrashed, there's a fair chance you don't need to go and buy tubes anytime soon. If you're buying a new Marshall or a new, pick your brand, there's a fair chance those tubes are good for a couple of 3 years.
Oh, at least.
Well, if you're gigging that thing flat out night after night, there's a fair chance it's all right for the next 3-4 years.
Yeah, I reckon you'd be fine. I wouldn't. It's not going to stop me buying. I mean, I don't need to buy any amps at the moment, but it wouldn't stop me from buying any amps at the moment.
You're in guitar buying phase at the moment, not amps.
Guitar buying phase. Ernie B says, "Did I hear right? Are you selling Pinky?" Yes, Pinky is going. Pinky's got to go because I bought a very expensive guitar, and
we're about 3-4 comments off getting to it. I promise.
Okay. Ernie B. Earlier comment was a thank you for nudging me into the Telecaster style. I cannot believe the sounds I'm getting out of this guitar. It's honestly Telecaster's best guitars ever. Heat is a tremendous film.
It is. Certainly is.
Heat is tremendous. The restaurant scene, a bit off topic, but I don't remember the restaurant scene. Who's in it?
Well, it's De Niro and
who's the lady?
Pacino are the two lead actors.
Well, I'm guessing Pet's not talking about the restaurant scene between.
Do you know? I can't remember. I really can't.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. It's got a very young. What's her name?
This is
Queen Amidala. Natalie Portman in it.
Ah, there we go.
Very young. Very young.
Duncan Mitchell. Hello, Studio Rats. Hello, Duncan.
Hello.
That. Tommy Gibbons. Paul, do you still have your P90 loaded Friedman T? If not, why did you sell it? I haven't got that anymore because the tremolos on those Friedman are junk.
Don't hold back there, mate. Say it as it is.
I'm not going to hold back. No. Can we talk about that? Can we go back? Yes. I've had 3 Friedman guitars. Each of them have had problems. No more for me.
No.
Richie Rich, please recommend a good looper pedal for me to buy. I've been looking at getting one. James.
Ditto.
The Boss RC. Good.
But the Ditto for me because it's got the clever TC-ness that just makes the loops work.
Okay.
You haven't got to be Ed Sheeran to make it do it properly.
Z Pep's talking about reversing the phase in a track. Why would you need to reverse the phase on a mono guitar?
I don't think you do. Have we missed something?
We must have missed something. Phase is only relevant when there's one source being recorded by two
points. Yeah, 2 mics, for example.
Dave McQuillan says, also picked up my first guitar age 57 now, getting a little better every day thanks to my tutor. A nice one. Cowboy Studios finished amp shopping. Got the 2 lightnings yet? No. I think I might do that at some point. It depends. If I sell the Bad Cat, I love the Lightning. The Lightning's not going anywhere. The Independence. At some point, I'm going to talk about the place where I bought that. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt at the moment, and I'm trying to give them.
You're being very kind. You're not naming and shaming.
No, I'm not at the moment. Because I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, although they've way gone past that. But anyway, we'll talk about that at a later date if we have to.
Right. We're so close now.
Andreas Hensler says, it's a recommendation of a good teacher who can help too unfashionable these days. I think a teacher can pick a student up where he's at his playing, fill the gaps in from there. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And nice.
And also, the thing a good teacher does is it gives you a reason to practice.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to feel embarrassed in your lessons. That's another real thing.
Yeah. Island Sounds. Based on the present Katana Mark II, what features would you like Boss to add in the future update? I'd like stereo.
A proper stereo Super 12.
Yeah.
A 250. 250s would be mint.
I think if the Katana's going the same way as their process as their sort of floorball process are going, the next Katana is going to be mega.
And I would like some kind of controller in the GAFC, like the GAFC 2 would have a.
You can add two expression pedals to.
I know you can, but some kind of built-in thing would be cool.
So something that was like something that looked like that, but that was just a controller.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Nice. Matt Wright, hi everyone. A little late tonight, dad duty. No problem, mate. Nice.
You're all very welcome. Right, it is time for the news.
Okay.
And updates, etc. I'm going to do this view. Oh no, I'm not. That's all too scary. I was going to do that because I thought we could see more of your surroundings, but
no, I don't think we do. Shall I get the new guitar out?
Get it out! Get it out! Get it out! Look at that!
Yes.
Has it got a name yet? Is it Candy?
That's a good one. You can't name another man's guitar.
I just did.
I'll show you the headstock. Look, have you seen? Can you see what's unusual about it?
So
again, I'll show you the headstock again. Got the decal on the headstock.
What's up with that then?
That's a 65.
Oh, is that good?
Well, so that's like standard decal that Fender use on in the 50s and no, actually it's not the 50s one, 60s onwards really, and then but they changed
the big gold. Yes,
you see it. So what is it? This is a as opposed to being a custom shop strap. You're in the back. If I actually do it in that way, can you see that?
That's a master built.
It's a master built. So I've done a video. There's a video coming out tomorrow on it, and explaining the difference and actually comparing it to the custom shop one. But master built is so it's built by one of the Fender has what it is 10 master builders that you can choose to have a guitar built by, and literally they do all of the. So as opposed to it being team built, so you've got a guy that builds next, does all that sort of stuff. It's like one guy that just builds the whole thing. So it's like the top end custom shop that you can get.
Yeah.
And it's got Josefina Campos pickups on it, which is like the Abigail Ybarra was the one that the pickups now go for crazy stupid money.
Yeah.
And so that's the new versions of the new top end pickup builder, and it is just absolutely brilliant.
Heavy, light
£7, just over £7. So light for a strap. Really resonant. I mean, it's just brilliant. It's just
I do love the color. I know you love your relic strats, but that is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. And as soon as you plug it in.
What year is it? Do you know?
2017.
Wow, so not an old one then.
No, not an old one. And it really is just absolute perfection, really. I'm really pleased with it. So yes, there it is. And the video coming out tomorrow. With comparing it against the custom shop and stuff, and
very nice,
explaining everything. But I absolutely loves it. Yeah, loves that.
So, what else is going on in the world of guitar, high tech, and all that sort of stuff?
Shall we? Oh yeah.
Let's dive into it. Get your screen ready, and we'll.
Where are we? Share. Share screen. There we go.
Oh, you love it, don't you?
It's done it again. Can I share? Oh, why does it do this?
So pro.
Okay, I might need to come in and out.
All right.
You remember what I did last time? You're right to pad for a bit.
I'll tell a funny joke.
Okay, I'm going out and I'll be back. I'll be back in a minute.
I'm now trying to think of a joke, of course, which I can't. I'm going to dive in with some more of these questions because we can while I'm here on my own. While he leaves me all on my own. And Gavin Layfield says, Watford Valves UK have tubes. Just bought a set. I have also just bought a set from Watford Valves for the Hellcat, which I didn't need to buy, and they've still got some. That was a couple of weeks ago, but I'm told they still have stock. For how long, who knows? Jeff Rock, not directly guitar related, but I bought a set of Apple AirPods Pro this week. Noise cancelling is impressive. Same technology as humbuckers, it seems. Yes, I have a pair of those. And other than the fact that the right ear now distorts like a mother, it is a very cool technology. I need to take them back, but I'm a bit concerned with it being a skin-to-skin product. They're going to look at it and go, sorry, we can't help. Very strange. That's a bleeding gorgeous Strat. Yes, Cowbell, it certainly is. Paul showed me earlier on and I went, ooh, like that. Oh no, it's been scratched in transit. Send it back, Paul. Very good. Yes, very, very good. Right. I just carried on with questions because, quite frankly, is it working?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happens. So with if you've got an Apple computer, you have to give it permission to let certain programs use the screen. And unfortunately, because I've done that, I've now lost all of my tabs.
Oh,
so give me 2 seconds.
I'll keep going.
Yeah, you do that, and I'm here.
I'll keep going.
Okay.
Fernando Franco said, "Did you hit that instead of the Zotic?" Yes, the exotic. Yes.
Yeah. Did I what? Sorry, instead of the exotic.
Did you get that instead of the exotic? Well, you got the exotic, didn't you?
I've got the exotic. I've done a video on the exotic, on sort of disappointment and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm going to release it yet, but
Okay.
yes, I did. So yes, sort of. There's something else that I've got my eyes on because I want a guitar. I want an HSS style guitar.
Get the green one. Anyway, John Gordon, any good advice for ambient reverb pedal under $250? I would say Hall of Fame reverb, the TC pedal, red thing. Really.
Oh, it does do ambient. You're right.
It does do ambient. Yes, it does. And you can pick them up for about $100.
Okay.
Great reverb pedal. Anything else?
Just keep them coming because I'm desperately trying to
find. I'm trying to think of another reverb pedal that I've actually used and enjoyed.
What about the Boss? The RV200.
Yes, good pedal.
Really good.
Yeah, great pedal.
It's all gone. This has all gone a bit tits up, I'm afraid.
Sorry, we'll keep going.
I'm trying to
Maris Mercury 7. That's a good shout as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure that's under 250.
I bet you found a second-hand one though.
Yeah.
I bet you find one on eBay.
Yes, you probably would.
Ernie B says, "Wow, congratulations, Paul. When finding a real prize guitar, what is the number one aspect you look for? Action, neck size and shape, etc., even."
Resonance. To be honest.
Ooh, resonance.
Yeah.
Basically, how it plays unplugged is my normal.
Yeah.
If it sounds great unplugged, it's going to sound amazing plugged in.
Yes, absolutely. Do you know what? We're going to have to do this. I haven't got all the stuff that I was going to talk about, but I'd have to be hunting around the internet trying to find it all. But let's see if it works now. Share screen. Do I screen share? No, it's not working.
Oh dear.
I don't know what's going on.
Oh dear. Well, there is one fairly huge thing we have to talk about tonight. I mean, it's the biggest of big things.
I know, but I've got that up in my tabs.
I know.
You pull that up.
I can't because what will happen is I can't see to do the thing.
Okay.
Hang on. Can you? If I add my screen, can you add my screen? No, hang on.
You can add your screen. Just push share.
If I add my screen, hang on a second. Let me try and find it. Hang on a second. Do hold. Right. Come on.
What a shame.
It's all
gone wrong.
Such a banana. Such a banana. Right, let me see if I can do this. Because if I can, that'd be great. If I can't, don't add me until I say so.
Okay.
Right, let me share.
How do I add you?
Share screen.
It's great.
We're so good, aren't we? We're so good at this shit.
Well, yes, I guess we should rehearse for every sort of problem. But
right, allow. Don't add me just yet. Oh, for God's sake!
Have you got the same? Have you got the same?
Try capture. Hang on. Right, hold on a second. I can beat this. I am.
Okay, look, I'm going to answer some questions. While you're.
I can beat this. I'm better than this.
Sweet Candy, really nice looking guitar. Cheers, guys. If you were too polished, I wouldn't like it as much.
Hang on. I've got a. No, that's not the right. Oh. But where do I stick that? Don't. No answers. No, only sensible answers, please.
Did I get it? So Aaron said, "Did I get it new or used?" I got it used. There's no way I could afford one new, Aaron. They're crazy money.
They are a lot of shekels, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a lot of shekels. I mean, they're not. It's more money than I've ever spent on a guitar anyway, for a second hand thing. But yes, no, I could. There's no way that I'd buy one new. Just bought. Gavin said, just bought a 1972 deluxe reverb, hence tubes sound like Tom Petty record. Nice one. Nice, yeah, that'd be nice. 1972 deluxe. That's got to be worth some money.
Ow.
James Jeff Rock said, don't tell any jokes about Paul's hairstyle.
Paul spends hours doing his hair every time we do one of these, and then he leaves it in the house.
Rafael Jesus says, I have an idea to get a cheap Squire Telecaster custom deluxe in sunburst and paint it with spray cans in racing green. Can you please talk me out of it? And definitely not. I'm not going to talk you out of that, mate. That sounds amazing. You want a custom, though? I'm guessing the custom's got the binding on it. You're going to have to be careful with overspraying that binding. Cowbell says...
Hang on.
Cowbell says Boss RV6 equals the best. Yes, they're really good. I think the Boss reverb's really good. I mean, all Boss pedals are great.
I've just broken a hard drive.
Ever? Oh no!
I don't think they're supposed to do that, are they?
I don't think so, mate. To be honest,
no. Cobblers.
John Gordon says, "Thanks, Brett Spencer. I'll take a look." Ah, sorry. It's a now RV200.
What?
Hold on. Are you sure? I'm checking on that.
I'm gonna make this happen. Not with
no, they didn't release. No, it's the RV500. I do apologise. You're right. It's the RV500.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Let's try this.
That's gonna be quite expensive, isn't it? I guess you might get one for $250, second hand. James Nipple Shot.
Do.
So David Bro says, "Watch out, Will Smith is a friend of Paul Drew, so no hair jokes."
I heard of. I've seen so many terrible Will Smith memes. The Pursuit of Slappiness is definitely my favorite one.
Shoot, slappiness. It was a good slap, though, wasn't it?
The thing is, there's an awful lot of was it staged or was it genuine going on? I have to admit, half of me does think it might well have been a fake.
Why would it have been fake? Why would
Oscars have been dying on their bottom? You know, point of view of ratings and all that sort of stuff. They've been dying on their bottom. Let me try this to see if this is going to work, because I've now plugged another screen in to try and make my machine talk to.
But this could work. Phil Cartoon says, "Evening all, but a bit late to the party. You're welcome, mate." Cowbell says, "I'm hoping they're going to release an RV200. That'd be nice." Phil Cartoons just heard Paul's farewell playing to the pink telly on Insta. brings a tear to the eye. Oh, cheers, mate.
No, it won't let me do it.
Oh well, we're just gonna have to work on this during the week and work out what went wrong.
No, all unblocked. Oh wow! It won't let me do it. That's stupid. Bloody stupid.
Anyway, well, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all
Right.
good. We just have to talk through stuff.
There it is. Look.
Yeah, hey, that's another way of doing it. That's good. We don't have to do it that way.
Horrendous. Hang on a sec. Let me do it this way. I'll
do it that way.
How appalling! How appalling are we? So high tech. Right. So the big news, of course, and we alluded to it last week because we thought it would be something really exciting and really cool and stuff. The big news is this.
James, tell us what UAD Spark is.
UAD Spark is the long and the short of it is it's UAD's subscription service.
Right.
So effectively what it does is it gives UAD a selected number of UAD plugins and instruments to non-UAD users. Basically, boys and girls, and I hope you're sitting comfortably because this is the big shock, UAD is now native. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, UAD plugins, Universal Audio, their plugins have always been DSP based. It's based around a Shark chip technology, and they're great. They're awesome. They're super low latency. They sound amazing, and there's nothing not to love on the UAD platform. But you do have to buy into their DSP processors. Well, not anymore, boys and girls, because it's all available natively for your host-based computer, which is pretty damn cool. I never ever thought I'd see that because it really is UA's USP.
Mm-hmm.
Now, yes, it's not all of them by any stretch. I'm just going to go back to where I was a second ago because, of course, that means I can actually see what I'm doing. So the long and the short of it, if I may.
Well, don't worry. We don't have to go in depth. It's just
basically you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some really, really good plugins. Some of the better UA plugins. So a good 1176, the API Vision Channel Strip, the Lex 224, Studio 800, the API 2500 Bus Compressor, Galaxy Tape Echo, Pure Plate Reverb. You then get some of the really good instruments. You get the Ravel piano, the Hammond, a couple of the synths. Really, really cool instruments, and they run natively. You don't have to have a UAD interface to run them. Now, what's interesting with that is we said a few weeks ago how much of quite frankly, a con it was putting a UA badge on the Volt USB interfaces that didn't have UAD processing on board. Therefore, you weren't buying into the UA platform. But of course, with this, you can now use UA plugins alongside your Volt interface.
There you go.
So it actually gets you in, and it's quite cheap. It's not an expensive buy-in. They do a 14-day free trial. Of course, they do. I'm trying to use the wrong mouse.
It's $20 a month.
Yeah,
it's $20 a month. So it's all...
yes, so, good stuff. UA instruments. So you get the Mini Moog, the Waterfall B3, the Ravel Grand Piano. You get the Opal morphing synth, which is very, very cool. Studio 800 tape machine. It's a great plugin bundle, and of course it's going to grow. It isn't what we thought,
no.
But what this is a huge reversal. Beep beep beep. Of UA saying we have complete faith in our DSP platform. We're not going to bother to reprogram for anything else. Well, guess what? They have, because they've gone native. This is clearly an indicator towards either ARM-based processing, because They're going to have to go that way sooner rather than later.
Okay, yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, we probably don't want to stick too much on this being mainly a guitar sort of show, but yeah, if it's
quite a big deal. It's quite a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. So basically, Universal Audio released a bunch of plugins that you can use on your computer,
and it's a way to, if you're using Luna, we don't know how Luna's going to work with it yet, because obviously these are native host-based plugins, and Luna is by virtue of the fact that you've got Luna, you would already have a UA interface anyway.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to be cool, because even when you start to run out of juice with your Apollo Solo or whatever, you're going to have more UA plugins you can use alongside it. That's cool.
True.
That's very cool.
So we're going to have to do everything on the
iPhone. That's cool. That is a cool thing.
That is such a cool thing, because I love what they've done with the design. They've taken the old chorus pedal design.
Yeah. Well, and the old Space Echo design.
Well, the Space Echo was a boxer, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like that.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Well, the space. Yeah. The sort of design aspect of it. Where, have they got a picture of a Space Echo? There's a Space Echo. There we go.
Yeah, that's very cool.
It is really cool, and I think it's really exciting. It sounds mega.
I want one.
Yeah. So just some other things. I mean, we're gonna have to talk about them, but have you seen? So I didn't know if this was a joke. Let me just find this. James, you're right. Just talking for a sec, or just. Sorry, guys. I'm just going
to take that one down. Yeah, I can happily talk about stuff. There is another company who's basically doing a recreation of a Roland Space Echo, and I want one really badly. A buddy of mine is UK distribution for them, so I think we might be able to get one. I cannot remember the name of the company for the life of me. Not, really well planned, this one, but I'm trying to get one for a Studio Rats video. Be nice. Very, very cool.
So something else. I didn't know, like, if when I saw this, I was like, is this April Fool's? And then we're not on April Fool's yet. Have you seen Dyson's headphones and air purifier?
At which point do they start going?
Yeah, well, they've incorporated headphones and a COVID mask in the same thing.
I think they're about 2 years out of date for that.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's Dyson. What else is going on? Strandberg have got some new guitars. I mean, it's basically a Polini thing. It looks exactly the same. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, there's not a lot of news this week.
Right.
Yeah, that's that's it. It would have been better if you could see our screens. But
yes, we're going to have to sort this out for next time, because quite frankly, Apple, you're letting us down as usual. I think there is some interesting stuff going on at the moment. So we've got there's quite a lot of irons in fires at the moment. Nothing's really coming to fruition. Obviously, this year we've got the NAMM show, which is going to be in June, which all of a sudden isn't that far away, is it really?
No.
There's June this year, April next year, and then back to January the year after.
Yeah.
Which feels like we're wishing our lives away already, but that's quite scary. Should we get back to questions, because we're good at that?
Yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Let's go into there.
Phil Cartoon said, "Evening all, bit late to the party." I thought, no, we've done that one, haven't we?
Have we? Okay, fair enough.
Yes, we've done that.
Have we? Okay.
Done that.
Yeah,
done that.
There.
Brett says, "The Spectacular Tempest is amazing, but well outside the 250. It's not as useful unless you use MIDI." There we go. Full Cartoons, but got me wanted to ask a tech question as you recorded it direct into the GT100. Sorry, what was the?
Don't know. As you've recorded it direct to the GT100, what did we record direct to the GT100?
You mean the GX100?
Don't know. Oh, hang on. I think we get more.
Okay. I'm getting the background buzz with all my guitars on all amps, and most noticeably, of course, through headphones on my GT1000. So, any ideas why? Could it be my house electrics? Almost definitely.
Yeah. Which guitar? Single coil or humbucker?
This is all my guitars, so I'm guessing a
All
variety.
guitars, okay.
I would definitely say I get it in my studio. In this studio, for some reason, the wiring isn't that great in this studio.
What you need is what's referred to as an isolating transformer. Now, you can get these dirt cheap if you know what you're looking for.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and what you're looking for is an old BT isolating transformer. Basically, it's a big metal box, and a transformer is just two coils of wire. Now, the way a transformer works is it either steps up or steps down voltages by having more or less coils of wire one side or t'other.
Oh.
If you have the same number of coils on both sides, you have no voltage difference, but because the two coils of wire aren't touching each other, there's no interference. The interference can't get through because there is no way for the interference to transfer.
Interesting. Oh,
Hence it's called an isolating transformer because literally they're isolating. And BT used to put isolating transformers onto every single cabinet in telephone exchanges. And if you had an office that was installed a few years ago, it probably had a BT isolating transformer in it.
Interesting.
And you can pick these up on eBay for pounds.
Oh, I will definitely. Do you know what? I might even have a quick
The
look.
other way to do it is to get yourself a half decent UPS, an uninterruptible power supply, because these all contain, or 9 times out of 10, the APC ones certainly contain a one-to-one transformer, isolating transformer.
Nice. Well, God, yeah, they are. Actually, I recognise them. Yeah, they're cheap on eBay.
Yeah.
Cheap on eBay. Nice.
You need to get one with a say for an amp, for a decent power amp, or if you want to run your whole studio, you need quite a chunky one.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Nice one. Good tip.
Go.
Every day's a school day.
Every day's a learning day with Jivey.
David says, do you two ever use a laptop or iPad when performing live? I'm too afraid to do it as I don't want to fail my gig. Yes.
All the time. I always use iPads, laptops. I even run Pro Tools live. I am that crazy. And in the thousands of gigs I've done, I can probably count on one hand the number of times where I've had Pro Tools fall over or do something horrible on me.
Yeah, I used to run a laptop running Guitar Rig when Guitar Rig first came out with the little Guitar Rig controller.
Yeah.
And never failed on me. Never failed on me at all.
The trick is not to use your laptop that also does your email and all your surfing, and have a laptop that is specifically for music or for gigs.
Well, or
if you can,
or use a Mac, I would say. And that's not this isn't a PC slagging off thing, but I think the way that PCs are probably different now, but the way PCs used to be, or when I was doing that, I would never have used a PC.
I used to run a Windows 7 PC and not have a problem, but it was just running. It was my Avid machine, and it was running Pro Tools, and that was it.
Absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Yeah. House electrics is a strong subject, says JTK. It is.
Suspect. Yes.
Yes, suspect. Sorry.
Yes.
Phil Cartoons, to confuse things more, it's more noticeable on my new PRS special semi-hollow. Peach found an earthing issue and fixed it. Oh, really? Wow. Surprised PRS let that get out and fixed it, but there's still there and on all my other axes.
It's going to be okay. First thing, have you tried changing the jack cable? Because
no, it's all his guitars.
Yeah, but if he's using the same jack cable, it could be the jack cable's knackered.
Could be. It could. You're right. It could be. It could be that.
You could be down to one strand of positive connector on either or somewhere in it, and it could be enough to get the signal through, but it might be getting so much interference, so much RF from somewhere. Do you live next door to a phone mast or anything like that? Because that's another one. That's another massive difference.
Yeah. I don't know. I would expect. I would suspect. I would suspect it's electrics. And again, I've got my studio, where I've had releases and song releases and album releases, mixed and produced and recorded, and it's
I don't want to know about the releases that have happened in your studio.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about guitar noise so much.
Unless it's
unless it's like that. Unless it's like that. Guitars are noisy, whatever.
Buy a noise gate and buy a volume pedal that you can.
Yeah.
I've normally in my kind of studio rig, the first thing in the chain is a volume pedal, so I can knock the volume back.
That's a Tim Pierce thing as well.
It certainly is. That's where I got it from. Thank you, Tim.
It's really good because you can just go straight off, no noise at all. Because when you're playing guitar, you don't hear that noise.
Yeah.
George says, "Hi guys, I'm late to the party tonight after teaching the next generation of six stringers. Nice one. You'll laugh at this. I had a wee guy refer to a C sharp minor as a C #M. Which I was joking. Oh, bless.
Oh, that's actually hilarious. I was trying to teach a kid drums once, and I was teaching triplets, and I said, right, I want to go right, left, right, left, right, left. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And he went da 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 da. I went no. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. And I went, just say it with me. You went 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, bless him. So I think triplets are hard.
Yeah,
they're hard to get your head around. Phil Coulton's actually like that.
Yeah, me too.
Have you been sent the Nux Amp Academy? No, we haven't.
No.
I'm guessing this is not the first person to mention that in today's show. I'm guessing this is a new thing out. James Echo Fix Tape Echo.
No, it's who is it? Hang on. Echo Fix. If it is, I'll be very on. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Echo Fix.
Yeah.
I've got one of those. I'm trying to persuade Ollie to get us one of those.
Nice.
They're quite expensive, but I think we would do a good job on a video for one of those. Thank you, Cowbell.
Aaron says, "Are the new Dyson headphones a joke or not?" I don't know. I think it's too early to release an April Fool's joke, isn't it? But it is very close to April Fool's.
Yeah.
Surely it's. I mean, it does look like a bit of a joke, but then like an air purifier thing as a
Dyson
joke.
aren't a company to joke, though, are they? Really?
They're not really a company to joke.
I don't think they're very funny. They're not a funny company.
No. A few months back, the Sir PT100 plugin that was previously UA only became available native on Plugin Alliance. It's still on sale, $39.
That's different though, because Plugin Alliance do develop for UA and natively. What's the difference here is that UA only plugins have never been available for native use, and they now are. That's the big deal here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, even those who worked at UA, who would never have thought this would happen.
Yeah. Matt Wright says, Paul, do you think the Spitfire would be a good complement to your Lightning? Yeah, I think so. I've never tried the Spitfire. There was one for sale recently. It's probably still for sale.
I find the big propeller on the front might have been a bit of a
very good.
Bit of a
yes, I think it's got more gain. I think the Spitfire, could be wrong, but I'd like to try one.
They need to do one called the Thunderbolt as well.
Thunderbolt.
Then you could have a Thunderbolt and Lightning and be very, very frightening.
Very good.
Moving on.
Dad jokes, like it. David Brose, I watch a lot of pedal builders and amp manufacturers that aren't going to NAMM anymore. JHS Friedman, oh wow. Wampler, to name a few. Friedman normally have a big old booth as well.
They're not going this year because NAMM, I don't think this year will be as big a deal. A lot of people have found that they don't need to, but I think by the time we get back to something resembling normal NAMM, I think everyone will be back, because there is something about real people integration that doesn't happen over email or on the phone.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, those companies that you've mentioned are all based in that part of the world. Whereas one of the main reasons the Europeans flock to Nam is winter sunshine.
Oh yeah, I love that. Oh, I do love that.
Yes.
Duncan Mitchell said, "Did either of you do any work at Metropolis Studios in the 90s? I was a tech there during that time." I did. Was it 90s? Was it 90s or early 2000s?
I did some stuff at Metropolis when we were doing pop videos. I was with there loads.
I did. We did the McCabe album at Metropolis.
Nice.
When they had the big Duncan will remember this, when they had the big Focusrite curved console.
Yes, we certainly know about that, don't we?
Yeah, nice. I do love Metropolis.
Yeah,
as a
space, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, as a space, I think you're right. I think there's nicer sounding studios.
The studio that I've not been to and I really, really want to go to,
Yeah,
for many reasons, mainly because I'm a super fan, is I really want to go to British Grove.
Yeah.
Apparently,
and just down the road from Metropolis.
Yeah, but if you could build a studio and it not, and money not be an issue because you've got a rock legend being the financier, that there's everything you could ever want in more than triplicate.
Yeah.
And apparently the room sounds amazing.
Yeah. Nice one. Matt says, "Do you think the UA move to native for Spark was influenced by Apple Silicon chips, similar to Lunar extensions running natively?" Yeah, I think that's a good shout, actually, Matt.
It's all heading that way. It's all heading toward, because even Apple Silicon is an ARM style of chip. Everything's moving over to ARM. ARM stands for something, and I can never remember what it is. But it's when someone says, "Oh, it's got ARM chips in it," basically it's a licensed technology. I think it will happen. I think this is the beginning of the end of UA using Shark DSP. It has to be. There are only those chips aren't being made anymore and haven't been made for years.
Yeah. Agree. Shepard says you can get filtered PDUs, power strips.
Yes.
After used in IT with clean power. I didn't know that.
But that's not the same as a one-to-one transformer, as an isolating transformer.
I might try and get one though. That sounds good. That's a good shout though. I'm going to try that first actually, because I prefer to do that to start with.
Certainly, the way to clean up your studio on the whole is to get a dirty, great big UPS, as in an uninterruptible power supply, a battery. So if you have a power cut, your studio keeps going.
Yeah.
I had one for years. The only problem was my power was up and down so far, it killed the batteries.
Interesting. Reckon you're into something with house electrics. Tried the new cable, so it's not that. Thanks for advice. Anytime, Phil. Well, let us know how you get it sorted. When you get it sorted, let us know what you're doing, Phil. I reckon do what Shep said. Try this filtered power strips.
Yeah.
I might have a look for one.
But don't think if it's a tenner, it's doing anything real. There's an awful lot of schnick oil out there. If it's about 50 quid, it's probably doing something useful. Check out if you can find a Furman power conditioner cheap on eBay. Another good shout. If you can check out the one I've got, which is actually by a company called Ticket. It's a thing called a Power Line by Ticket Audio. I don't think they make them anymore, but they do appear on eBay from time to time. And that's awesome. And the reason it's awesome is it's got 9-volt, 12-volt, and 18-volt outputs. So instead of having wall warts plugged into a power strip plugged into it, you just take a mini power supply cable straight out of the back of it. Very, very cool.
Nice.
And they're available sometimes. Very, very cool thing.
Glenn Martin says, "Guys, where do you see vintage guitar values? It appears to be rising quickly again." Yeah. I think look, I think there's certain guitars that you can buy you will not lose money on.
Telly, Strat, Les Paul.
Certain Strats, yeah.
But I don't. You're never going to buy £1,000 Schecter and it be worth. It's not that sort. There's not that market for it. the guitar snobbery, unfortunately, is out there for Strats, Les Paul, vintage Strats, Les Pauls, Tellys, 335s to a certain extent.
Yeah, without doubt. No, I think 335. I think classic guitars are always going to hold their value, and if you can get the top end, version of that, so the custom shop style guitars, you're never going to lose money. My first custom shop Strat that I bought years ago, and it wasn't that way. It wasn't the one that I've just sold. I bought for 1,200 quid, and I sold it for 2,300 quid. I think it was something like that. You'll never lose money on if you buy for a good price. I don't think you'd ever lose money on a Les Paul Strat, as James said.
A custom shop, be that Gibson or Fender, is never going to lose you money.
No,
unless you buy stupidly expensive.
Yeah. Cowboy Stew says Dyson headphones got me thinking of that bad guy from Batman.
Yeah, Bane, I think his name was.
Yeah, Bane. Yeah.
Or the guy out of there's another one, isn't there? There's another guy who's masked up and forgotten.
Well, Silence of the Lambs. It's a bit like that.
Probably, yeah.
George says, I attached a propeller to the end of my nose. Didn't like it at first, but now I'm a big fan.
Hey, there it is.
Nice one. See, that's a good joke, James. You should take some notes.
Thanks.
Pet says, is there a reason that some songs sound great cranked where others pale by comparison? I went to crank Sharp Dressed Man in the car, but it didn't fare well. Everlong by the Foos, very much so.
I have a theory on this.
Go on.
It's all down to the evils of compression.
Yeah, it could be.
Over compressed track, cranked, where you are getting into the compression of the playback medium, shall we say, is going to sound nasty. Something that's good and dynamic, cranked with a bit of that vibe and the natural compression of a speaker that's working really hard, is going to sound great.
But Everlong's quite it's of that era where they were compressing to a little bit harder than the way they do it now. And Sharp Dressed Man's probably older than Too Much Compression. I reckon it's just. I think. Good mixing and good mastering is.
Yeah.
If you've got who did Everlong, was that Butch Vig?
I think so. Yeah. He wouldn't have mastered it, but he certainly would have mixed it.
Yeah, Butch Vig knows how to get great loud though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think like The Pretender by the Foos just sounds massive.
What was the first Foos track that really, the one with the with all the that's the Pretender, isn't it?
That's not no, that Pretender's like that's not first. That's like Pretender's fairly recent in terms.
Okay, there's all my life I'm thinking of.
No, that's not that. Yeah, that's not first.
But it's early.
It's earlier
Foos. I remember hearing that for the first time on a really big system in a club, going, "This is awesome."
But listen to like Smells Like Teen Spirit cranked, massive.
It's a great noise.
Yeah, it's good noise, isn't it? Butch Vig, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he? Yeah, mixing and mastering, I would say, Pet.
Yeah.
Cheers, everyone. Have to go now. Have a good.
See you next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Cowboy Studio says, ever been to Rockfield Studios? Love the documentary about the place. I haven't actually.
I have. Nearly Wales.
Oh,
it is Wales. I looked into buying the studio next door as well, which was quite scary. But Rockfield's amazing.
Oh, nice.
You just go in there and so the first thing you do is just.
It's got that smell.
And hope you're getting some of the vibes of every great rock band who's ever recorded there, like including Queen. It's just.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Does the Apollo have a piano plugin? Yes, it does, doesn't it?
It's called Ravel, and it's awesome.
It's very good. It's not that's not Apollo though, is it? It's Luna.
But it's now available as a plugin.
Oh, is it?
Yes,
it's
as part of the Spark experience.
That's great. Does this mean UAD won't release new software for new Macs? No, I think they will. I don't think that's going to change.
I'm sure they will. They can't not, because now if you buy a Mac, you buy an Apple Silicon Mac.
Yeah,
pretty much. Unless you're buying, no one's going to buy a Mac Pro when the Apple Studio is around.
Yeah.
Or the Mac Studio. Why would you buy a machine that's less powerful for twice as much money?
Yeah. 10 o'clock. We've got to move on. Got to move. George Mateo says, which model of Epiphone, Les Paul Epiphone, would you use? James?
I didn't know there were different models. I would use the one that was available that was set up nicely and had 10s on.
I really think the Jared James Nichols, whatever his name is, Epiphone is.
Didn't JB do one? Hasn't Joe Bonamassa done?
Yeah. Oh God, without a doubt, he's done everything.
Yeah, I'll have one of those.
Sunglasses, Epiphones, Les Pauls,
bobbly head people,
bobby headmans. Yeah. Favorite guitar and amp pairing, guys. All models available must be a Fender Gibson or Gretchen to a Fender Marshall or Vox.
Oh, easy. Les Paul, Les Paul standard into a JCM 900, 800.
There we go. That's pretty good for me as well. Like that.
Yeah. Well, eight or 900. I've got a 9. So
late 2019, I bought a Tele American Original and a Les Paul Classic New, both worth more used now than I paid for them.
By a long chalk.
In only a few years ago as well. Brilliant. Well done. Paul, do you still have a double D335? Haven't seen any videos. Yes, I do. Yep, it's right there.
Has it still got problems, or is it fixed now?
No, it's all good. Yes, all good. All
awesome.
Good. Shep Shepherd forgot to say filtered PDU available 19-inch rack mount. Oh, nice. Filtered PDU. Nice. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, that's the way forward.
Everlong was mixed by Chris Sheldon. There we go. The whole album was interesting.
Great. I don't care. It's a great sounding album.
Yeah. iTech, James, I think you're thinking of Monkey Wrench.
Monkey Wrench. Yes, that's exactly. I want to be your monkey. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, awesome. But yeah, it's newer, but still great.
No, it's old. No, Monkey Wrench is old. Yeah.
My Foo's knowledge is not perhaps what it should be, but still, what a band.
Even chaps, or maybe it's good night. Sorry, I'm late. No problem, David. Nice to have your ha. Stephen James, hey Paul, are you going to keep the Bosch GX100? Wouldn't it be good to use your quiet stage rig? I got it the day after I did that silent stage rig video, and the GX100. Yeah, without a doubt, that's what I'll be taking out. So all that time I spent building that pedal board, what a waste of time that was. Question: are you actually rats? Yeah.
The phrase studio.
Well, are you actually Vanilla Rice? I think that's more the question.
Or C3PO.
Could be.
I think the phrase studio rat was coined many years ago, around the time of the Wrecking Crew.
Oh, was it? Is that where it came from?
That's where it comes from.
Yeah, studio rats, like people who spend too much time in studios.
That's pretty much us.
Boss is boss, says Jeff Rock. Right, should call it a day.
We're there. We've done it. Well done. We got there. We survived. Thank you for bearing with us through Paul's technical inadequacies.
It's not my technical inadequacies. My computers.
I know. Don't shoot the messenger. It was funny.
No. I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it harsh.
Careful. I'll reach out and slap you one.
Boom, Shankar.
We will see you next week for more of the same. We'll probably even try and do some of the same questions.
Yeah, we'll try and get the computers fixed next week. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Hopefully there'll be more stuff to talk about. Some less letdowns from UA, and we will be back with more of the same. Keep your questions, comments coming. We'll keep the videos coming. If you like what we've done, please give us a big fat thumbs up. Hit the bell icon, all that sort of stuff that we ask. If you really like what you've done and you fancy buying us coffee or beer, then that's always lovely too. But in the meantime, my name's James Ivy.
I'm Paul Drew.
From the Studio Rats. We will see you next time. Have a great week and take care, everyone.
Cheers, guys.